G'day Australia and welcome to FJ Holden Jive Talking. Happy New Year and welcome to 2021. Well, it started off pretty hot, and where I am in sunny Queensland, it's definitely hot at the moment. So what I'd like to kick off proceedings with for the year with our Jive Talking is I want to talk about floor mats, some hardware, little known accessories, some special tools, and just some other bits and pieces that you should know about. Now, the first thing I wanted to show is something they all have, which is a floor mat. Now, you can actually get these now. When I first started in FJs, my first rally was like 1980, and helping my mate with the first car that we put out was like 1984, and the best that we could get was a second-hand one. But Rare Spares came out with them in the middle of 1980s, and we were told, oh, you know, the nasty people that are making them are going to actually destroy the molds and all that sort of thing, so you better hurry up and buy them. A lot of rubbish, but anyway, look, this is what's available at the moment, and it's actually quite good quality. I've only really needed to buy for a front because, you know, mine's the van configuration in the front, so that's what I've got. But it comes all cut around the pedals. The dipper switch slides over through the hole here, so that's nice and easy. But the rest of it is molded, and it's made out of a neoprene rather than a rubber as such. But I've got to say, look, it took probably about 2.5 months or whatever for the order to come through, but well worth it. I wasn't in any hurry, and that suited me perfectly. Now, the fellow, when I was speaking to him, said to me, oh, is it for a ute and van? I said, yes. He said, oh, do you want the sides done as well? And I thought, well, sure, I don't care. So he's actually sent me this. So traditionally, this would be bitumen board at the side of the seat. So this part actually slides underneath the seat bracket, and the straight part actually gets slid underneath the scuff panel, and then it's all, you know, screwed down. But, you know, that's certainly what it would look like, and you can see on the other side the neoprene from the mold. You know how it comes out, and it's quite sturdy, so I think it'd be really well wearing. And just a hint, when my mate Basil had an FB with 19,000 miles on it, beautiful car, and it was a two-tone green sedan, and it had a green overspray mist over the front of the floor mat, and I've seen that on his in the green, and looking at a blue one, I saw that little bit of overspray mist, so I'm thinking they were trying to, I don't know, add some accent or something in the factory, but I just thought it was a nice thing to do. But anyway, that's the floor mat. So putting that aside, now look, I just wanted to remind people about this because I've seen 3 of them. Now, this is the ignition key, right? So I've already gone out and had all my keys all done and all that sort of thing, and made sure, you know, my ignition key matches the door key. It's really important. Don't mix things up. That way you'll be carrying 2 keys around for years, and it's certainly not a smart thing to do as far as frustration is concerned. But anyway, look, what I wanted to point out was this scratch plate. Now, I've seen 3 of them. Ron Goodhue had one in his two-tone FJ special, NAV 002, and that was a magnificent car. Now, that was grand champion at the Nationals. Michael Bishop had one, or has one, in his Ocean Mist Green FJ panel van, and I've got this one. Now, I know Michael bought his from John Rayner, and I bought mine from John Rayner when John Rayner had classic Holden spares with Leo Duffy many, many moons ago. I think I bought that in 1983, and I just put it away. I didn't use it on my ute, but I'm most certainly going to be using it on this one. So really, it's just a glorified stainless steel washer that goes over the ignition switch, and it just stops the key from, you know, if people miss putting the key in there, it just doesn't scratch the paperwork. Now, the paintwork. Now, I love that little knick-knacky thing. I think that's terrific, and I'll be using that on my car. It's just a standard ignition switch, nothing flash, but I'm going to be using it. Now, I've gone ahead and bought all the hardware for my car as far as the fasteners are concerned for the cargo area. So that's what I've got as far as the bolts are concerned. So it's saying roofing bolts. So these are the bolts that go through the runners, and they'll have a star washer on them to affix it down, the runner down onto the cross members in the rear cross members in the back of the car. So that's that one. You can also get the screws for the upper baffle panel for the FX and the FJ, and I think I'm giving you enough shot there to show you the reference numbers. So it's really important to get these things before they all finish being made. Now more screws for the masonite in the back. So bolt pack there. And you're also going to need the appropriate washers for them as well. Now I think with FX Ute, they've got two sizes as well. There's a couple of larger size screws on each of those panels from memory, because my FJ was on a very early body, so it was like it had FX, A pillars and so on, and a few other bits and pieces. But that's what I had to do with my FJ, so it was a bit of a bitzer. But anyway, look, I wanted to show you this special tool. We missed out on using this one last time when we were showing special tools, and I picked this one up for about, I don't know, $25, $30 or whatever, and it's quite solid. But what it's for is, if we go to our spare master cylinder, this is to get the nut off the master cylinder. Now I know mine's crusty and all that sort of thing, and we're going to hit it with some heat and whatever else to get it out, but this is what the special tools are for. You'll find a lot of tools, and it's really, really important you pick up things when you can, because you don't know when you're going to use them. We've got old cars, so it's really a matter of getting things when you can. You know, I saw that and I thought, well, okay, the boys have probably got it. If necessary, I can go 20 minutes up the road, or I can go and see Tony Manganaro, or whatever is the case. But what I'm trying to do is just amass what I need in special tools and all the other little bits and pieces. So I really just don't, I can be independent and I don't have to ask people. I think that's an important way to look at it in life. Now, one of the things that I think is important is for everybody to have a workshop manual. So that's the Holden shop manual. Now I'm only talking FJ because there's obviously, you know, an FX version of this, and I like the FX one, the green one in particular, because that's got the schematic and diagram in there to be able to mount the Air Chief radios, and I quite like that. But one of the important pieces in this, or probably the two most important pieces, are on page 236, which is electrical system 12.2, which is the electrical diagram. Now this is really important. You're going to need this. Every FJ's got one, and this is the diagram that you need to follow, where all the wires are, where they start and where they finish, what goes to the coil, what goes to the lights, what goes to the rear tail light, the rear stop light, where does it go, what connects to the battery and where does that go, what connects up to the solenoid. So it's all there. You've just got to trace your way through it and check it out for colors and gauge and things like that. And I also want you to remember, see, okay, what they're saying is, here's the front of the car and here's all the lights at the back of the car, and it's laying them out on a page with no shape of a car, but it's certainly showing you the diagram. If I can follow it, anyone can follow it. I'm a pretty simple bloke, but it's a really good schematic, and I think if you need to know how things go, well, this is a really good start. And if I was you, I'd get hold of this, and I'd it's a quarto page, and just blow it up to A3 just to make it easier for you to read. But look, I think that's great. And the other important thing is on the very last page, which is the torque wrench specification. So it's telling you there, you know, how many foot-pounds you need to put on your torque wrench when you're tightening things down, whether it be your head bolts or whatever. But it's really important to follow the technical specification. And as far as your tensioning is concerned, this will help you greatly, because a lot of people, they just go to the group on Facebook and say, "Oh, look, can somebody tell me what's the torque specification for a head?" And someone will say, "Oh, look, it's this amount of foot-pounds." Well, just go to the book. And if you read that book, well, then you'll start looking for other things, and it sort of goes from there. And it's really, as I've said to people, it's a book of procedures. So everyone needs a shop manual. Everyone needs a master parts catalogue. These things are invaluable when you're putting your car back together again, and you just need to find out what's the right stuff that I need to use. But look, today we've talked about the floor mats. We've given you some hardware. We've shown you the scratch plate for the ignition keys. We've done a little bit with the Holden shop manual, showing you the electrical diagram and also the torque settings. And we've also showed the special tools, the spanner for the master cylinder. So it's so important to have these little bits and pieces and know what they're all for, or know someone who's got something that can help you, because let's face it, that's what Holden people do. They're very good at helping others, and we see that every day when you're on Facebook or on the group. You go to NASCO Bay and on the side of Facebook, and there's always people screaming for help. So it's just a terrific avenue to get help and to help others. But certainly don't forget to stop by NASCO Bay and see what we're doing. Also, like and subscribe to the other clips that we've got going at YouTube. But more importantly, enjoy your Holden.